Let's look at example number 1 on page 97, solving equations with the variables on each side. 2 plus 5k equals 3k minus 6. That's our original equation. So we're going to rewrite the equation because we do not work our original equation. So we're going to write 2 plus 5k equals 3k minus 6. So what we want to do first, we want to go ahead and subtract 3k on both sides of the equation. What we want to do is to get the variables on one side and the constants on the other. So we're going to subtract 3k, and we're going to undo that with subtraction. I'm just going to abbreviate some of this stuff. Okay, and of course we want to show that the 3k's will cancel out. Alright, so now we want to come over to our left side of the equation. Let's copy down our 2. Now we need to since we added the 3k on both sides, we need to subtract 5 minus 3k, and that's going to give us 2k. And now we have left over on our right side is negative 6. Okay, so now in this case we still don't have the variable by itself. So what we want to do now, we need to get all the constants to the right side. So we can do this by, we're going to subtract 2 on both sides of the equation. And of course we want to show that the 2's will cancel out. So we're going to write to the side, undo with subtraction. So now we are left with 2k is equal to negative 8. Alright, so two numbers side by side means multiplication. So we're going to undo the multiplication with division. So we're going to divide both sides of the equation by 2. Therefore, we can get the variable k by itself. So now we have k is equal to negative 4. All right, and we always want to box in our answer. So that's a look at our problem, our first example. Now, we also want to take a look at another example for you. All right, let's look at, we're using our book. Let's go to page number 98. And on page number 98, we have, let's write our original equation of 6 times 5m minus 3, all that's in parentheses, equals to 1/3. That's times 24m plus 12. Now that's our original equation. We do not work it. Write original equation. Okay, so let's come down. We're going to write the equation again. And this one we will work. In this equation, we see that we have a set of parentheses. Now always, whenever we have parentheses, we have to clear the parentheses by using the distributive property. The distributive property is when you take the number that is on the outside of the parentheses and you're going to multiply it by everything that's on the inside of the parentheses. So I'm going to draw arrows to show that we're going to multiply 1/3 by 24. We're also going to multiply 1/3 by 12. So let's go ahead and do that first. So 1/3 times 24, let's draw a line to show that what we do to one side of the equation, we're going to do to the other side. 1/3 multiplied by 24, and of course use your calculator, is 8m. And then bring down your addition sign, and 1/3 times 12 is 4. So now you just want to copy everything else down. Let's go, well no, we can't copy everything else down. We have another set of parentheses. So now we need to clear this set of parentheses by using the distributive property. We're going to multiply the 6 times the 5m, and we're also going to multiply the 6 times -3. 6 times 5m will give us, that's 30m, and then 6 times -3 will give us a -18. All right, so we have variables on both sides. We want to get our variables on the same side. So what we're going to do, we're going to move the 8m to the left side of the equation. We're going to do that by subtracting 8m on both sides. Now we're going to undo this with subtraction right to the listed out by your equation. Undo with subtraction, and you can abbreviate on this homework for me. All right, we want to show that will cancel out, the 8m's cancel out, and so let's go over to the left side. 30 minus 8, you want to calculate that. You always use your calculator, and that's going to give us 22m minus 18. Okay, and while that's left over here now is our constant 4. A constant is a number that does not have a variable. So let's move the constant 18 to the right side. We're going to undo that with addition. So we're going to add 18 to both sides. Of course, we want to show that canceled out. Okay, now let's add 4 and 18, and of course that gives us 22. And so now we have 22m. All right, and that's equal to 22. So let's list this out. Undo. We need to undo that with addition. All right, so now two numbers side by side means multiplication. We want to undo that with division. So we're going to divide by 22 on both sides of the equation. Well, the 22's cancel out, draw a line, show that. So now we have m is equal to, in 22 divided by 22, that's 1. So m is equal to 1, and we want to write simplify here. And also I meant to say that we needed to also write simplify by the last equation that we worked. That's the final step when it's in its most simplest form. Okay. So here are two examples that can get you started on your homework. We will do more examples in class. And just remember that to eliminate terms with a variable from one side, you want to always do that before working with the constants. Always deal with the variables first before you're going to work with that constant.